Hey everybody, Mr. Gibson here. So I wanted to record a quick video to introduce the Ionic bonds Gizmo that you guys are getting ready to do. So what you guys are going to do, you're going to watch this video, hopefully. I'm giving you guys 2 days to complete this assignment. It's kind of long, and I don't want to overwhelm you with a ton of work on one day. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of days to knock this out. I recommend doing a little bit each day, okay? And this is basically to let you explore through a simulation how ionic bonds are formed so that you can actually picture what's going on when these ions are joining together to make ionic compounds. Okay, so to begin, first you're going to open up this Google Doc, which I already have pulled up right here. And we're just going to go ahead and take a look at these prior knowledge questions together. Okay, so it says Nate and Clara are drawing pictures with markers. There are 8 markers in a set, so a complete set is 8 markers. Nate has 9 markers and Clara has 7. So what could they do so that each person has a full set of 8? Well, you may think this is like totally obvious. What if Nate just gave one of his markers to Clara? That way they would both have 8. Now they have full sets of markers. If Nate has 9 and he tries to put the markers back into the box that holds a set of 8, it's not going to fit, right? There's too many. If Clara has 7 and she tries to put all her markers back up, she doesn't have as many as she should. So Nate could just give her a marker and then they would both have a full set. This is just like ions do. So if an atom has, I will say, too many valence electrons, that it doesn't have a full outer shell. So like, let's say it has one valence electron. It wants to have 8. So the way it could have 8 is just give away that 1, and then its next lowest electron shell has 8. So just like Nate. Or some atoms are like Clara, where they almost have enough to have a full valence shell of electrons, but maybe they're just one short. And so something they could do is take an electron. And this is actually why atoms will become ions. Now, what's interesting is this idea of ions giving each other or taking from another atom, okay? Giving each other electrons and taking electrons from another atom. This is how ionic compounds form. You're going to see that today, okay? Number 2, Maggie is sitting at a table with Fred and Florence. Maggie has 10 markers, but Fred and Florence each only have 7. How could they share so that each has 8? Okay, so 2 people have 7. They need 8, each one. One person has 10, and they need to have 8. So what could they do? Well, Maggie could give one of her markers to Fred and one of her markers to Florence. Okay, so now you've got one atom losing 2 electrons, person losing 2 markers, an atom losing 2 electrons. That's the whole analogy there. And you have 2 separate atoms each taking 1 electron from that initial one that's giving them away. This again is illustrating some ways that ions form ionic compounds. So just kind of connecting it to some prior knowledge. So that's what you guys can put for number 1 and number 2. The Gizmo warm-up, make sure to do that so that you can see how many valence electrons each one has. So like here, sodium, how many valence electrons does it have? Well, it's got 1 electron in its outer shell, so it's got 1. Chlorine has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 valence electrons, okay? And you guys are going to pull electrons away from some and give them to others, and you're going to see these ionic bonds form. And you're going to work your way through activity A. You're going to work your way through activity B. And then there is an extension activity as well. We're going to do a little bit of pattern recognition, okay? And hopefully this will illustrate for you how and why ionic compounds form from 2 ions joining together. If you guys need any help with this at all or are confused by anything, well, if you run across a word that you don't know what it means, I have attached a vocabulary bank right here. So if you run across I don't know what an ionic bond is, you can look up there and it will tell you what an ionic bond is, okay? And hopefully, like I said, this will give you guys a chance to explore and discover these concepts on your own. And if you guys need any help, just let me know, all right? Thanks, guys.